I saw this actually on social media very, very, very recently. And I think I spoke to you boys about it, where a girl posted something and then she said, no woman wants a man that dash 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 dash. Now this same girl, I remember a couple of weeks, or I don't remember when exactly, but I have seen her posting saying, who, first of all, why would I want a man? It was something about a man saying that women don't want something. Most men don't want a woman that does so and so and so and so. And then she reposted it and she said, first of all, who said I want a man? That's what she posted. But then a couple of days, months, weeks, whatever, she says, no woman wants a man that you get what I'm trying to say.
I honestly think that when it comes to some things, just like you're saying, this whole thing of imposing some certain things on people is not right. Because at the end of the day, it's your choice as an individual to do what you want to do. Right? Exactly. Especially that statement of saying no men or no women. I mean, is that really true? It's not really true, because people have different tastes. Yeah. Exactly. People have different choices.
Everyone is like unique.
Right? You highlighted the fact of marriage, that many feminists think that
it's a bad thing.
Marriage is bondage. Well, honestly, this whole thing of saying that marriage is bondage, I think at the same time that also shows, to some extent, it really shows ignorance. When you come back to the roots of marriage, from my view, it's an aspect of meeting each other's needs.
Yeah, codependency.
It's coming together to achieve a common cause. Codependency. We need each other. That's a fact. We need each other. And there is a reason why God created men and women. We need each other. Men need women. Women need men. On some certain things, you might say, I don't need a man, and which might be true. Maybe in terms of your finances, you're financially stable, you don't need a man. But there are some things that you need a man. Same when it comes to us men, we need women. There are some things that we can literally do without women, but there are some things that we just can't. We can't conceive a child. We need a woman for that. Now, this is not to say that is the only thing that we need in women. No, I have to make that point clear. This was just an example of the obvious thing, right? But we need women in many things. There are some things that men cannot. Men also need emotional support.
Yeah,
very true.
From women. It's something that a man needs.
Very, very true.
Women provide a certain level of emotional support that another man cannot give to another man.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We need each other. So when you think that now being married is
a bondage,
I think that's taking it from a wrong perspective.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, are some women being abused in marriages? Yes.
They should leave.
Do I stand for that? Absolutely not. I'm against it. Right? But also we have to realize that some women also abuse their man in marriage.
Yeah.
But it's just not really being voiced out. If it comes to treatment, we're saying that women should be treated. I honestly believe that women should get a certain level of treatment that is not given to men. If, for instance, if something is really to happen, okay, let's say we're receiving beatings, for instance. There are some things that when you do to a woman, they're considered wrong, right? In terms of treatment. But if you do to a man, it's all right. Right? If a man is to beat a man, right? If a man beats a man, if I'm to beat him, people might let it go. Because we're a man.
Because we're body frame.
But if I go and beat a woman,
you're short.
It comes with a different level of treatment.
Yeah.
Right? So I think people shouldn't be picky when it comes to these things. There are some things that we can never be equal when it comes to some certain things. Yeah. Because it was created that way. It was nature that way. And there are some things where I think, yes, women are being treated unfairly. And I really advocate that women should also get equal opportunities, just like men do. But there are some things that, by nature, when you try to fight them, it's going to cause other negative consequences in the end.
Yeah.
So sometimes people are more reactional. And when you are reactional, it's also going to cause a lot of a negative outcome at the end of the day.
woman and man, like they have different set of unique values and just unique differences. And I think we should embrace that rather than trying to tarnish that or trying to equalize that, because it just will never be equal. As you said, there are certain things women can do better and certain things that men can do better. And a manifestation of that is like, why do we have so many men in engineering or so many men in bricklaying? And if you're a feminist and you believe in equal rights, then I want to see more women laying bricks and more women in the construction area, because that is equal everything, right? Anyway, so men and women both just have equal traits that we need to embrace instead of trying to extend one over the other. That for me is equality. And again, yes, there are like certain things that a man can say and it will be deemed so wrong of you, that's so inhumane of you. But like, I've seen a lot of women saying, I don't want a man that can't support me financially. Can you support yourself financially? Let's start there. I don't want a man who can't support me financially. I don't want a man who can't give me girlfriend allowance. Before you ask a man to give you girlfriend allowance, have you asked him how much he spends on his mother allowance? Because as a man, I would rather first concentrate on my mom rather than to someone I'm not entitled to or born to entirely, you know? So like, women can say all these things like, I don't want a man that does this, I don't want to, and they have this thing of size. And but if a man says, I don't want a woman that does this, then automatic is like, oh, that's body shaming, or that's so bad of you, that's so inhumane of you. I don't condone such. I just don't.
Wow. What's your advice to modern day feminists? Of course, here we're not trying to change them
Or shame them.
or shame them. That's not our part. We're just saying our minds, your views, and all that stuff. What's your advice to them? If you were to sit side by side with a modern day feminist, what would you tell them?
To every modern day feminist, like, I'm really proud of you for fighting for equal rights and still in that same sense victimizing men and putting yourself on top there. But I'm proud of you that you actually took a stand to be a feminist. But like, all I'm asking is that if you are a feminist, just like fight for the right things, because we are like really being all over the place with petty stuff. And as I said before, there are still like issues that need to be addressed, like real issues that women are facing that still need to be addressed, that nobody's even looking to anymore, because feminism has completely become something else. So I mean, if you're a modern day feminist, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a feminist or identifying yourself as one, as long as you are fighting for what you believe in, because that's what you believe in, and there's like nothing anybody.
Okay, I think that was really. I don't know if you have anything that you'd want to share concerning feminism as well.
Okay, anything that I would want to say is, like, I feel like for a lot of people going to watch this, they're like, you've completely just looked at everything that you think people are doing wrong, and you've overlooked. Can I just ask you guys like a question?
Sure.
Okay, like, do you like you believe in equal rights, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, I do believe in equal right. First of all, let me just make this clear. Let me just make this clear. I don't believe in
Discrimination. in a sense.
female rights. I don't believe in men rights.
Human.
I believe in human rights.
Human rights. Love it.
That's what I believe in, human rights. So the moment you start saying women rights, men rights, I mean, that's not necessary. It should be human rights rather than women
and
rights
female, yeah.
or men rights. I would advocate it as human rights. That way it's fine. When it comes to equal opportunities, same.
True. Like, I was watching a podcast and it was like men activist and feminist, and the man activist, he was like, you know what, like, feminists focus so much on what is happening to men, to women, excuse me, like we have completely like we just overlooked everything that happens to a man. Is like, in society now, a woman is basically being the victim of everything. But if we look at statistics, UN stats say that men commit more suicide, men are more likely to do bad in school, we have more homeless men, more men die in wars, and more men commit suicide, and more men are more depressed than women. And it's like, woman everything. And this man was basically trying to say that, okay, if you really want equal rights for all, why is it always just females? Like, do you even look at what's happening to men? And she was like, I don't think we need man activists, because that is just so irrelevant. What is so irrelevant about a man fighting for man's right as much as you're fighting for women's right? I mean, if it's equal rights, then we should just call it equality. I don't know why we have to call it feminism, honestly. I understand that originally it was because woman that, and like as I said before, nowhere in history have women been so privileged. And I'm not saying women can't be more privileged than they are now, but women don't need to overextend themselves over men to feel like they're privileged. We should be optimistic about the things we have and work on what we have and what we can change, rather than what we don't have and what we're trying to have that we can't, Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much, Fortune, for the nuggets that you shared and for clearing some steam off. We hope to have you back on the show.